Usually when you buy a piece of tech for your living room, there is this, I don't know, expectation of spectacle, right?
Yeah.
You want a giant glass screen or sleek glowing lights, or at least a highly polished logo.
Oh, absolutely. We definitely like our expensive electronics to, look expensive.
Which brings us to today's topic. Welcome to today's deep dive, where we are looking at some spec sheets and catalog data from HDTV Supply. We are focusing on a piece of gear called the Avenview SW-HDM2-T4K-4x4 HDMI matrix switcher.
That is quite the mouthful.
It really is. And it is essentially a 4-pound, perfectly plain black metal box, and it currently costs $1,332. So, our mission today is to figure out why you would drop over $1,000 on something that looks like, well, a literal brick.
Right, because underneath that incredibly boring exterior, it's actually performing some serious technological heavy lifting.
Okay, let's unpack this because I have to push back right out of the gate here. I mean, I can go on Amazon right now and buy an HDMI splitter for like $50. Why on earth would anyone spend $1,300 on this?
Well, because a basic splitter just takes one image and, blindly duplicates it to multiple screens. A matrix switcher is an entirely different beast.
Oh, really? How so?
So it takes up to 4 unique inputs, say 2 cable boxes, a PC, and maybe a game console. And it lets you flawlessly route any of those inputs to any of 4 different screens.
Oh, wow. At the exact same time.
Exactly, at the exact same time, in whatever combination you want.
So if sending a single 4K video signal is like trying to force a fire hose of water through a garden hose, this thing is basically a specialized pumping station.
That is a great analogy, actually.
Right. It can take 4 separate fire hoses and perfectly direct that water to 4 different neighborhoods, all without losing an ounce of water pressure.
What's fascinating here is the sheer volume of that digital water, so to speak. It is staggering. We aren't just talking about basic 4K video, it's pushing 60 frames a second.
Which is a massive amount of data on its own.
Huge. Plus, it handles massive, uncompressed theater-quality audio formats. We're talking LPCM 7.1, Dolby True HD, DTS-HD, all without squeezing or losing a single drop of sound data.
Okay, but the manual boasts about the specific color detail, the 444 color space. I mean, does the average person's eyes actually perceive if a color signal is being compressed to save data? Or is this just for bragging rights?
Well, if you're just watching a sitcom on a normal TV in your living room, probably not.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
But when you compress color data, you immediately lose fine-edge detail. So if you are routing complex PC graphics with really sharp text, or if you are projecting an image onto a massive 15-foot wall display, compressed color looks glaringly blurry.
Oh, I see. It looks cheap.
Exactly. This box guarantees absolute data integrity from the source straight to the screen. Deep color spaces up to 48-bit.
Here's where it gets really interesting, though. It obviously has massive raw power, but looking at the specs for the back of the unit, it is covered in control ports I do not normally see in a living room. Things like RS-232 and Ethernet.
Right, yeah.
There is a standard infrared remote included, but clearly that is not the primary way you're supposed to interact with this, right?
If we connect this to the bigger picture, you have to think about where this tech actually lives. HDTV Supply's catalog isn't just targeting basement home theaters. They cater to massive sports bars and highly automated smart homes.
Makes sense. You wouldn't want to be messing with a clicker in a crowded bar.
Exactly. You don't have a bartender walking around pointing a standard IR remote at 50 different TVs. Those remotes require a direct line of sight.
Right.
Those RS-232 and Ethernet ports allow a central computer, hidden away in a completely different room, to reliably control the entire system over a network.
So what does this all mean for the price? You're paying for professional-grade control and massive data bandwidth, but $1,300 still feels really steep. What is the final piece of the puzzle justifying that price tag?
It really comes down to reliability, specifically managing something called HDCP 2.2. Have you ever plugged in a streaming box or a Blu-ray player and the screen just flashes black or gives you a static error?
Oh, yeah, all the time. I usually just have to unplug the HDMI cable and, plug it back in.
Right. What you're experiencing is an HTCP handshake failure. It's a digital anti-piracy measure. The video player literally interrogates the TV.
Wait, interrogates it?
Yeah, asking, are you a legitimate screen? Or are you a recording device trying to steal this movie? And if the TV doesn't answer correctly in milliseconds, the player cuts the video signal completely.
I get it. And if you put a cheap $50 Amazon splitter in the middle of that conversation?
The handshake gets garbled, the screen goes black.
Wow.
Now imagine that happening in a packed sports bar right in the middle of the Super Bowl.
Oh man, that would be a total business disaster.
Exactly. In the commercial world, you are paying $1,300 for the absolute peace of mind that those anti-piracy handshakes will be managed flawlessly every single time, plus you get a 3-year warranty.
So for you listening, while dropping over $1,000 on this specific hardware is absolute overkill for a single TV setup, it represents the hidden backbone making those seamless multi-screen commercial experiences actually work.
This raises an important question about the future, though.
Oh, like what?
Well, as smart TVs continue to build streaming apps directly into the display itself, effectively cutting out external players entirely, will physical routing matrices eventually become obsolete?
That is a great point. Or will our constant desire for multi-screen multitasking keep physical hubs more necessary than ever?
It's hard to say for sure.
It really makes you look at that boring metal box a little differently, doesn't it? It might not have the flashy glass screen, but it's the pumping station keeping the whole digital ecosystem flowing. Something to think about the next time you see 4 different games playing flawlessly on a sports bar wall. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.